And I want to share a revelation that God gave me, which many of you have heard me on before. I've mentioned it and I never get tired of saying it. Because I think of that song, He took my sins and my sorrows. He made them His very own. He took my sins and my sorrows, and He made them His very own. And He bore the burden to Calvary and suffered and died alone. How shall I respond? How marvelous, how wonderful is His love for a sinner like me. And when with the ransomed in glory, that day is coming soon, His face I at last shall see. 'Twill be my joy through the ages to sing of His love for me. That's all. I don't want any mansions in heaven. There are other people looking for that. What will I do with a 14-bedroom mansion in heaven? You can have it. What will I do with crowns on my head? I'll throw them all at the feet of Jesus. I don't want any of these things. I'm not looking for these things. To tell you honestly, I'm not waiting to go to heaven. I'm waiting to be with Jesus. A lot of people are waiting to go to heaven. I'm not. I told the Lord, I'd be happy to go to hell if you're there, because it'll become heaven for me. Is it like that for you? That's what the fullness of the Spirit did to me. I never get tired of serving the Lord, because it's a love relationship. I read a verse in Genesis in chapter 29. And verse 20. You know, when Jacob fell in love with Rachel, Laban's daughter, he said, I want to marry her. And Laban said, you got to work for 7 years to get her. Imagine that, working 7 years to get a girl. Would you do that? Jacob loved her so much. But the thing that came home to me in Genesis 29:20 was, I read this as a very young man when I was about 20 years old. Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and it seemed unto him but a few days because of the love he had for her. And I said, Lord Jesus, if a man can serve 7 years for a girl, and it seems like a few days, how should I serve you? I said, Lord, I'll serve you. I said this when I was 20, more than 55 years ago. I said, Lord, I'll serve you all my life, and it'll only be like a few days. Now I say after 55 years or 56 years, it has been like a few days for me. I'm ready to serve the Lord another 56 years. It's not money. I never wanted money from God. It's love. There are things people will do for love they'll never do for anything else. And if your Christian life is not satisfying, exciting, my life is extremely satisfying and exciting. I'm not pretending. I'm not pretending at all. I say before God, the joy of the Lord fills my heart when I serve Him. It's because it's a love relationship. The Spirit of God flooded my heart with love.